Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Get There podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Klein, and I'm here with the amazing, lovely, beautiful, outstanding Kayla Adamson. She is a real estate agent here in Brevard County, but she's much more than that. She is a public speaker and published author, a coach. I mean, there's nothing this girl does not do. And she's joined today with Shannon Kramer. She is a local real estate agent here in Brevard County as well. These two powerhouses have teamed up, so we're going to hear all about what they're doing with their coaching business. So, Kayla, why don't you take it away and tell us a little bit about your life, how you got started in real estate, and
absolutely. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I am Kayla Adamson. I've been a realtor here in Florida for about 10 years, a whole decade. So fun. So I decided to bottle up all of that experience and launch Stay Bossy Agents, a movement and coaching community for all women in real estate. So it's been super fun. Before real estate, I decided to become a realtor because I had a career that did not make enough money to sustain my lifestyle. I'm a little expensive, so I was a police officer on a whim decided to leave and become a realtor because I thought it would be an easy career.
Definitely sadly mistaken there. Yes. Not that being a police officer is an easy job. That's a hard job too. But obviously, I think a lot of people get into real estate thinking it's going to be easy, and you truly give up your life, especially when you're first getting started. So it takes a lot. But I love that you were in public service before. I was actually a public school teacher for 5 years before getting into mortgages. So kind of the same thing. Once I was like, okay, well, I actually had left, went and stayed home with my son. And when I came back, they did away with tenure, did away with pension, everything, like to be a public servant. And I said, well, I'm not going to do that and make $36,000 a year. So I got into the mortgage business all by accident. So completely get that.
The best accident.
Yep, exactly. So how did you get into real estate, Shannon?
So it's funny you mentioned teaching. I actually was going to be a teacher. I was in school to be a high school teacher, and it was time to do my first in-classroom. And I went and I spent 2 days in the classroom and decided that with my 20-year-old attitude, I was probably going to end up on the news, and that wasn't the best career path for me.
Yes.
So I chose business management instead.
Okay.
And then we had a family friend who owned a small brokerage in Port St. John, and she encouraged me to be a real estate agent. And I thought it was going to be easy and be able to juggle the kids around. And here we are, 23 years later.
Oh my gosh, you've been in real estate that long?
Yes.
I did not know that, so I just learned that today. That's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And she is part of a mother-daughter duo team too. I love a mother-daughter duo because I work with my daughter too. It's so special. And I know you have two small girls.
I do.
I'm sure you hope one day they want to join you in the business too. It's definitely something special to be able to share that with your kids too. So
it is. But anytime I ask either of them if they will work and be a realtor with mommy when they're older, they both say no.
They're like,
said no for years.
They are growing up, seeing what you have to do and what you have to go through. So, but I do feel like you do an awesome job of keeping it all together, spending lots of time with family. I do want to jump into that, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So tell me about your recent journey. You've been getting into public speaking. You wrote a book. Like, I find that absolutely fascinating. And just to kind of see you grow from, you're really big into your community. So I know that's really important to you. And it's like going from building a local community to truly like a nationwide community that is backing everything that you're doing. So tell me a little bit about that transition from being in real estate full-time, that being your focus, and to kind of branching out too.
Absolutely. So being in real estate is kind of like a roller coaster. When you first start, you want to be the absolute best and you go hard. Like, you are working as many hours as you possibly can. And about 3 years into my career, I woke up one day and I'm like, why am I even a realtor anymore? And I knew that the money was good, it sustained that lifestyle I was talking about, but there had to be a career that could meet me with happiness and balance too. So I decided to just transform my real estate career. And I started reading books, listening to podcasts, anything I could that was all about setting boundaries in a healthy way to still produce a lucrative career with having some set hours, some set standards that worked for also having a balanced lifestyle at home. And I very easily was able to set boundaries. I think my prior real estate career as a deputy sheriff helped me have that confidence in communicating my needs in the best way, and boundaries came really, really easy to me. And before I knew it, I was selling like 15, 20 million in real estate and only working about 15 hours a week. And
amazing.
When you also travel to conferences and retreats and meet other realtors that are facing burnout, like they're gaining weight, their hair's falling out, all the things, they're like, how are you doing this? And I started mentoring a lot of women completely for free, which that's my heart. I'm a servant heart. But then I was like, you know what? Why don't I make this into something?
Yeah.
Because I had the time, and I decided to make just Friday afternoons dedicated to coaching other realtors. And then it turned into Friday and Sunday. And now that's what we do.
Yeah.
And it has really become a movement. It's called Stay Bossy Agents. We teach agents to be bossy, set boundaries, conquer hard conversations, and it has really just transpired into something amazing.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like all of us who are in this real estate business, it's almost like a badge of honor. Like, I work all the time. I do everything. I mean, I need to learn from you. I think I need to get into coaching because I have set boundaries for myself, but I know I can do more because it is real. Like, I want to be there for everybody and be able to, move when they need to move. But it's also like, I want to be able to have time with my family, and I'm going to just get a little bit emotional, but it's super important that people do that because I was having, my son was 10 when I got started. He's 18 now, and probably it's been like a year, but it's like traumatized me. Is we were having dinner one day and he's like saying something and he's like, we're not close. And it like literally was like a dagger to my heart.
I just got goosebumps.
Like I felt like a failure. Like, I care about succeeding. I want to be number one in my work. I want to, so to like hear that, like I'm failing as a mom. Like, my son is not close with me, and it was like just a wake up call of like, hey, I need to do more to have a relationship with him, and set boundaries where I'm not working 24/7, where I'm not looking at my phone and texting every 2 seconds, even when I'm watching television with my kids. Like, it's that important, and I don't want anyone to ever have to hear their kids say that to them.
Absolutely.
So I love that you're doing that, and it's so important that we don't normalize working 24/7 anymore, and don't make it a badge of honor, because you're truly missing out. You're going to be able to make money. You're not going to have time with your kids. So super awesome.
Not only kids, and I appreciate you being so vulnerable and sharing that, but also marriages. One thing that I noticed was a lot of the women that had been in real estate longer than me, it was like divorce after divorce after divorce. And to me, it was like, okay, is this like the road in real estate once you're in this career for 15, 20 years? That you have become so disconnected from your spouse because you're a powerhouse top producer that it ends in divorce. I don't want that. That's not my future. And setting those boundaries not only prioritizes your relationships with your kids, but also that intimate connection with your spouse too.
Yeah, super important.
That's so important to me.
I know. I've been married for 25 years, so it's super important. I definitely always try to put him first, and that was the first boundary I set was, like, dinner time, 1 hour. He gets an hour of my time. That sounds so bad to even say that, but it's like
an hour
a day, like, that's set aside for him and me, and we always do that every single evening.
An hour a day.
Exactly.
Keeps the divorce attorney away.
Exactly. Awesome. So, as far as, and I think you even did a good job, like, building your community. You have a Facebook group, and that's kind of how you started fostering that, and it's Space Coast Moms Group. And I mean, how many members does that have in our county? Like,
which one? Space Coast Mom Life or the coaching group?
The Space Coast Mom Life group.
Space Coast Mom Life, I think, has like 15,000 members in it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of started with that and building your community there.
Building community in there.
Hosting community events, really connecting with people. I know a lot of business, I mean, even for me, comes from that group, just being tagged and stuff from all the moms. So as far as Stay Bossy, how many members do you have in there?
We have 72.
Wow.
Well, 70 if we don't count us.
Yes. So that's pretty quick growth, because Stay Bossy Agents is only what?
December we launched.
Yeah, so just
not even a year
so
old.
That's super impressive. So what does that coaching schedule look like for you guys? Like, what if you sign up for Stay Bossy Agent, what are you getting? How many times are you meeting, and all of that good stuff?
We meet twice a month, live coaching calls, and then we do quarterly challenges together. And then the group is private for paid members only, so it's a great accountability partnership in there with all of the ladies. And we already have referrals being sent in it. So since it is a tight-knit community, we will never grow past 5,000 members. We're in a few other real estate women groups, and they have like 30,000, 35,000 members in it. And you kind of just get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
So our goal was to create a more intimate experience for the realtors, because then once you get that referral partnership starting, you have a whole entire different lead pillar for your business, and then you're just like working with your besties all day.
Yeah,
you know,
I love that.
How fun.
That is the one good thing, I think, just even in real estate in general, when you mesh with people and you build your team and you just enjoy being around them and you work with your besties, I love it. I never fathomed myself to be a girl's girl, and then one day I looked out and I'm like, wait, I'm a girl's girl.
I know. I'm like an even playing field, because I'm like, hubby, like, you want to go out? 8 p.m. start time. 8 p.m. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to be home at 8 p.m. Anything's at 4 o'clock, I'll be there.
Exactly. That's what I like, my girls' days. That's what I call it.
Days.
I like my brunches.
Yes.
With champagne, too.
Yes.
All right, Shannon, so for you getting involved in the coaching, because right when I saw you two team up, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so here for this mashup. So how did this partnership blossom? And because I know when we had spoke earlier, you had been in a coaching role prior too. So I want to just kind of hear about that.
Yeah, so I had kind of, like Kayla, been coaching for free. And I have so much knowledge. I've been doing it a long time. I've seen all of the different environments, all of the different stages of real estate, because where I started in real estate is not the real estate in which we live in now.
Yeah. It changes
and
so
when I hear
much.
people complain, it drives me crazy, because I'm like, you have no idea.
Don't tell me you were driving around with the book. And
I had a plat map. There was no go on BCPAO. I mean, we had books and maps.
Spoiled.
And
I wouldn't have survived.
Driving contracts from one end of the county to the other. It was a different environment.
Yeah.
So being able to still be relevant in this market is amazing. And I love to be able to share my experience. I mean, there's pretty much not many things I haven't seen or experienced. A lot of times, and like Kayla, I read a lot of books and listen to a lot of podcasts, and I try to stay relevant. I mean, I think my biggest, which for Kayla, social media, that's my kind of, I'm just learning all the ins and outs.
Great.
Well, Alyssa does a lot.
I know. That's the beautiful thing about having a mother-daughter duo is, like, I rely on Kenzie. Like, help me, please.
Alyssa is my, she calls herself the monkey behind the computer, though I don't think that at all, but she's definitely my saving grace in the background, because I can do it, but it's not my comfort zone. It's just totally not my comfort zone. The mailers, the cold call, the old school real estate, I got you. I know how to do that. I know how it works. And I still rely on that heavily. Yeah. But I want to expand, and I want to teach others the balance between both. And just finding that balance between what you want to get out of real estate. Like, and when is it time to become the powerhouse real estate agent? Because if you start out and you're going to get burnt out. Like you said, if you start out 100 miles an hour. So if we can teach them kind of early on the tips and tricks that we've already figured out, I would love that.
Yeah.
That's kind of my passion, is being able to kind of take the obstacles away sooner. The things that it took me 10 years to learn. Yeah. If we can teach them that a little bit sooner.
People really need to invest in themselves. You are your business's most important asset. I actually learned that when I first got started, and my business grew very quickly. I mean, it was divine timing of just the market growing and coming in. And I know a lot of people have lived here my whole entire life. So it just was like a super quick thing for me. I'm blessed for it too. But within a year, I went from nothing to Rookie of the Year, all of these things. Yeah. But at some point, I'm 2 years in, and I'm keeping track with sticky notes and stuff. And I'm like, there has to be a better way. I was drowning. So I ended up getting into coaching, and coaching saved my life. It let me put systems in place, tracking, actually looking at it as a business, and from a business standpoint, not only just in systems and tools and processes, but then financially, where's my money going? Am I tracking my ROIs? All of the things, and I didn't know. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer in coaching, and investing in yourself because you want to get better. Like, you're not going to figure it out, and you can learn from people who have already been there, done that. Like, I'm a sponge. Like, give it to me. I will take it in and absorb it. So I think coaching's so important to do. So as far as the coaching going from here, do you guys do one-on-one coaching if you want to, or do you keep it in a group setting with Stay Bossy?
One-on-one coaching is definitely coming. Yes. I would say I have a few one-on-one coaching students from prior to launching, and it's a heavier lift.
Yeah.
You know, being someone's motivator, accountability partner, and all of that in the same day. So we're doing baby steps with some big launches. Yeah.
I did like small group coaching, which I really enjoyed. So it'd be like 3 of us who were being like with a coach, so like a group of 4. And it was just good to like share ideas. We met like twice a month, I think, too, is when we were doing it. But just to see if everybody's pains were going through, because as things are happening, you're like, is this just me? But really, once you get to talk to people too, you're like, oh, they're all experiencing this. Like, this is just what's happening now. Because it's weird how things come in waves in real estate. Like, you know, it's not just like these one-off things. It's just like, oh, this is the market we're in right now. This is what's happening. And it just makes you feel better too. Like, I'm not the only one. Okay, so I want to kind of just switch from talking about coaching, all of that good stuff. I want to get into marketing, because I do think both of you girls do an amazing job. Kayla, you especially, just your online presence is super awesome. What made you, or what do you do, to produce the content that you do, but also what's your driving force? Because I know for me, it's like, oh my God, I gotta do this. And then it just makes me not want to do it at all. I try, but it's just like, I worry about looking stupid, or like I'm trying too hard, or that I'm a snob and stuck up. Like, all these things like go through my head. But what's funny is, like, when I see other people, I don't think that about them. So why am I thinking that about me? But so how from really going from, you were always good about it, but now, like, you're on point and doing awesome. So what was that transition like for you?
Thank you. It honestly was a crazy transition, because my Instagram, social media really took off like 3 years ago. When I first left law enforcement, I joke and say I had no personality because I was kind of jaded. And, you know, when you wear a uniform like that, you have to show up really aggressive. You have to be, like, in charge. And when you take the uniform off, it doesn't go away like that. So the RBF was strong. I feel like I didn't know how to talk to people and really see them or be funny. And I just had a hard personality. And then I took some classes for social media. Amy Gregory's one of the first social media classes I ever took. I want to shout that out there because it was so good, and learned more about reels and just like being yourself on camera. And I read some books and got my personality back that I lost while I was in law enforcement. And I just started showing up. I love it. People will love you exactly how you are. Yeah. So I just really, really preach, like, be yourself versus trying to imitate anyone else. And you're going to feel more comfortable online.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, don't hide the messy parts of yourself.
Exactly. And I do feel like as you let people know your personal, not just business, because I feel like I want to kind of do it mixed, but like everybody knows I'm a crazy Frenchie lady. So I get Frenchie gifts all the time. But like, I love that. My dogs are my life, and I like sharing them. And I love that people know that about me. I have turned into a crazy duck lady recently. So now I'll be known as Crazy Duck Lady too.
I love it.
That is okay. But it really truly is like where people just identify with you. I have said 1,000 times, like, my dogs have paid for themselves over and over and over, because I have French bulldogs and they're expensive. So they've paid for themselves, because I either have other real estate agents that are crazy Frenchy ladies too, or people
clients
that are crazy. Like, I've literally got referred a client because they're like, oh, she has Frenchies. I had to have her come to you.
That's so funny.
And then I actually ended up getting a Frenchie from this client later on. But that's okay. But it does, like, to show your personality. So for you, what would you say to someone to, like, get over the fear? And I know it's like, just do it, but like, it's literally like a mental block. Like,
it is a mental block, and you have to get comfortable get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're never going to get out of it. And I actually went back and looked at some of my old videos from like 5 years ago, and they're so bad. But you and I did one at Coastal Life Properties a really long time ago. Oh my gosh,
I remember
I'm
that.
going to send it to you. And this was the first time I did a 7-day challenge of where I was going to post a video every day for 7 days, and I met with other market experts in Brevard County, and I go back and look at them, and to me, I'm like, these are horrific. But they got a lot of engagement and a lot of exposure, and it kind of was that first little takeoff of, okay, people like this. People like seeing me show up online. And now when I go back and look at it, my makeup wasn't done, my hair wasn't right, I'm wearing like a COP t-shirt, but it worked. Yeah. So we're our own worst critics. And just start with something small. If it's a 7-day challenge where you show up once a day every day, the next time you can do a 14-day challenge. It's like baby steps.
Yep. And you'll never even know what people find of you online, which I think is awesome. I ended up doing like this one video with a real estate agent, and it was about living in Lake Washington because that's where I live. And I have literally had people reach out like, oh, I saw your YouTube video about Lake Washington. Good. And I'm like,
it'll live forever.
Is crazy that like you're reaching out because of that video that I made like 3 years ago. So, I mean, it really shows you the power of social media and just getting yourself out there so people can find you. Because in today's day and age, people are on the internet looking for all the services that they want, the people they want to hire. Even like my reviews are on there. Like it's super important just so people can find you and be accessible to you, to almost feel like they know you before they even meet you, which is honestly, it's beautiful. That
it is beautiful because then you have appointments before you even walk into the room.
Yeah.
So many of my listings, I'm not even going up against other agents. I'm just showing up with paperwork. I don't have to do a big presentation, and it's because I've built that like, no trust factor online. Yeah. So it's super, super important.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you, Shannon, in social media, because I'm probably more like you, like very like, I don't want to do it. And Mackenzie is the one who comes up with ideas for me. And I know we need to do that. So how are you getting yourself over?
So I have found, of course, I feel like it's ironic that social media and me even, I went for years, wouldn't even have my picture taken. I didn't like having my picture taken. What? Yeah, for real. And now I'm like, now that I'm old, I'm going to be all over the internet, right? So, but I have found for me, because I'm definitely like, does that look stupid? Did I look dumb? I'm constantly judging myself, that for me, the batching, doing it when I feel pretty.
Yeah. That's smart.
When I love those that can do the speaking while they're putting on their makeup in the morning. You will not see me showing up in the morning, get ready with me.
I'm like the exact opposite. Like, I do not walk out of the house unless I'm like,
yes, and I'm like, really? That's not me. So, but filming multiple times, like, excuse me, while I feel good.
Yeah.
So diving into those moments when I feel good, even if I've changed my clothes 2 or 3 times to film, but I feel good, it works for me, and then just batch filming and then posting when I need. I feel like that works for me better than I have to have something right now, because then it takes me 2 hours because I filmed something 40 times, and the first one was the best.
Yeah.
So I have come up with the one and done rule.
Yeah, I do that too.
So I do one and done. When Alyssa and I film the little things in front of our homes, I'm like, one and done. We're rolling with it. I don't even watch them anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I film it, I say what I have to say, and I post it, and they do great.
Yeah.
They do great. I feel like the carefully curated versions, they're good sometimes, but they're not always the ones that get the best engagement. And people are watching. People come up to us all the time, and they're like, oh, I saw you're doing, and I'm like, hi.
Alyssa posted that.
It's so funny that even if they didn't like your post, like they are seeing them, and so you can't even go by engagement. I'm a huge like Gary Vee fan, and I feel like he speaks to my soul.
and he just pushes it out.
He's so on like trend with it, and that's what he's like. Well, he's like, it's not about how many followers you have anymore or anything. It's interest content, and I can tell you, it's definitely how it's going out, because if you're looking for a house, you're going to start start getting real estate stuff over. Now that I have ducks, literally all that's on my feed is ducks. Like, it's so crazy. I mean, our phones are listening to us, and if you even spend more than like 10 seconds on something, that's it. Like, they're feeding you that. Like, if I get one more Primal Queen commercial,
oh my gosh, I refuse to try it just because of the marketing.
I know, it's like, please stop. But so it's more interest based now. So I think as people are looking for real estate, so just getting those keywords and those topics in there is good. And exactly, it's like pushing it out. And it doesn't always have to be a video. Like, it can be stagnant things that people can share, or it can be, you know, just a picture. I swear, if I post, I do believe in like a photo of yourself though, because anytime I have something that I post that has a picture of me in it, like, it gets 10 times more engagement than something that doesn't have a photo of me in it. I don't know why, but it just.
It's just because you're beautiful.
Thank you. You're beautiful too. All right. So overcoming the fear of everything. So I always like to talk about like getting over that fear. And I think you brought a good point. It's literally just do it. You got to get out of your comfort zone. And I always said, like, you know, you're doing something awesome if you're scared while you're doing it. So,
Absolutely.
As terrifying as it is. So how are you balancing everything? Because that's the one thing that amazes me about you is, I mean, you're not just a real estate agent, like, you're a 1% producing real estate agent, like, so top of the top. And you have your coaching business. You wrote a book. I mean, and you have 2 small girls, and you're always doing wonderful things with them and taking trips and just doing cool crap with them all the time. And I'm like, man, like, such an experience they're having at the same time. So how are you managing to balance it all? Because you make it look easy, but I mean, I know it's not, so.
It has gotten easier with repetition of having a really strict schedule. And I read this quote several years ago. Gary Vee might have been the one to say it, actually. But it's like, the fastest way to get anywhere is speed, being faster than the person behind you. And what I've noticed in a lot of realtors inside of our Stay Bossy Lounge is they overthink a lot of stuff. Even something as simple as planning like a staycation or a family vacation, they will sit on it for months just stressing out and overthinking it. If I'm overthinking anything, I immediately just do it. Because if I want to do XYZ, I'm going to plan it. You're not going to spend all this money on a family vacation and not go. You know, like, worry about how you're going to handle it after you booked it.
Absolutely.
Because then your speed is going to meet you where you are. And then you're going to force yourself to set your schedule to be in alignment with that free time.
I have a note on my computer, like, just do it. Quick. You end up doing, throughout the day, I have, like, all these little teeny tiny little things I have to get done. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that later. And then it's like, okay, I have 27 little things. Like, so now I have a rule. If it's going to take me less than 2 minutes, handle it now.
Just do it now.
Just get it out of the way. Don't let it stack towards the end of the day. Then that way, if you have something that needs 40 minutes of your attention, you have it there, and you don't have this weight of, like, all these other little things going on. So it's a little sticky note right on my computer. Just do it now.
Just do it now. And I actually just hosted a real estate retreat. I'm always doing something. But inside the swag bags, I put a little timer that's connected to a tiny little dry erase board. And I teach task blocking instead of time blocking.
I love that.
So set the timer for 10 minutes. Write whatever your task is, and literally do not do anything else except what you set out to do in that 10 minutes. Because what happens is, say you want to make 10 phone calls, but as you're making the phone calls, an email comes in. You're like, oh, I'm just going to take care of this email really quick.
I'm so guilty of that.
So guilty of it. And a quick trick to see if you are actually wasting more time than you think you're wasting is to set a timer, like one of the little press timers, and every single time you stop doing the task that you just sat down to do, hit that timer, stop it when you start your task again. When you get distracted, hit the timer. Stop it when you start again, and then before you know it, you wasted 35 minutes on randomness while you were trying to do one simple thing to get done that day. And once I started doing that, I realized I could get so much more done if I just focused on one thing quickly at a time. Versus trying to be a multitasking queen. Now, people who have stalked me for years, don't go find my old posts about being good at multitasking. We evolve, we change, it's okay.
We do.
Now, I don't teach that anymore.
It's so hard because, especially in mine, like, we have so many little mini fires, and that's what I get pulled away in all different directions. So I try really hard to be intentional with my time. Like, okay, let me get this done. Like, you can't.
And move on to the next.
Like, hey, Jen, like, I need 2 seconds. Like, let me finish this email because then it'll be 20 minutes later and I haven't sent this email yet. So
it's like squirrel syndrome.
Or you think you've sent it.
Oh,
that's where my brain will go, oh, it's sent. And then I'll go back and it's sitting there and I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
I didn't finish
drafts.
that. Right. Yeah.
It is a terrible thing. So I think it's being intentional and exactly like realizing how much time you are wasting. I even think with our phones, like my phone's always in front of me. And I mean, I do like to be available for people. So I do end up stopping and like answering my text, like, hey, working on something, I'll work on this. But even that is, I need to start saying, okay, look, you don't have to answer this text in 30 seconds. Like, it's okay. I feel like it's kind of insane that we have that expectation of an instant response. Like, it's a form of communication. And yes, you know, you want to respond as quickly as possible, but you just end up putting like way too much pressure on yourself. And then sometimes it doesn't even register when I reply too quickly. Like, oh, I forgot to get back to so-and-so. Like, because I didn't leave it unread,
you read it and forgot about it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh crap, I totally forgot about them. And it never fails. It's at 2:00 in the morning when I can't sleep. I'm like, oh crap, I never got back with
it wakes you up.
So, and that's another thing. Like, how do you deal with the stress and the pressure of like everything that, like, it's a lot of responsibility with what you're doing. Like, what do you do? What's your timeout? Like, what do you do for Kayla to take a time out and have time for herself?
What don't I do?
Well, that's
good.
So
on Mondays I go to Pilates.
I love
She knows
that.
this. I'm always sending her voice notes on my way to Pilates. And then right after Pilates, I go to the blow dry bar to get my hair done on Mondays for the week. But what has really helped all my files, because I have a lot of files, I do about 55 to 60 transactions a year, is I have a system and process for everything. That way, something that takes another agent an hour to do, I can literally do in 2 minutes because I do the same thing for every single file. And I always say there is never an emergency in real estate. Some brokers will argue that.
I know. I was about to say it. Okay.
But I say there is never an emergency in real estate. Everything is figure-outable. We just have to think, like, if you drop everything to put out a fire, you typically have to call someone to help with that fire, a lender partner or a title company or an insurance broker, and then you're expecting someone else to drop everything they're doing to put out a fire. So really, what are you going to save? 30 minutes by dropping what you're trying to do to rush to a fire? No, just finish what you're doing, then that's done. You don't have to worry about it later. Then move on to the fire. So
I think a lot of times they put themselves out.
That too.
A lot of times if you just leave the fire alone for a hot second, it will kind of figure itself out without everybody getting all crazy about it.
Yeah.
I do say that with upset other agents. I don't have a lot of buyers or sellers that ever really get upset with anything. I say I'll always answer questions before they have an opportunity to ask them.
Yeah.
That saves time too.
Yeah.
Answer the questions up front. But a lot of times it's agents on the other side. They're just like so stressed out. I'm like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't your house. You're selling. It's okay.
We'll make it through.
I'm going to send you an espresso shot. But I just lost my train of thought. What'd you say? Oh, it fixes itself.
She's like, I don't remember.
Itself sometimes.
I'm the old one. You're not allowed to lose your train of thought.
It fixes itself.
Yeah.
So if someone is like freaking out on the other end and it's another agent, I literally wait 30 minutes before I'll respond to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, they need to process through stuff because they're not going to hear anything I say the way I mean it.
Yeah.
They're going to hear it in what level of anxiety or stress or
it's
trauma response that they're in. So I let it rest for 30 minutes. And then I'm a caller.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you so you can hear my tone of voice and context.
I like calling. I know everybody is like, oh, just text me. But you end up texting someone for 3 hours where it could have been a 5-minute phone call. Like, let's just talk about everything then because it just takes up so much of your day.
It does.
And then I love it when then they won't pick up. Like, you're actively texting me to pick up my phone call.
I'm really bad at someone will text me. I'll send them a 5-minute voice note back. She will. And I'm driving a lot. So I'm like, I'm sorry I can't text you. I'm driving. Sorry, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, should have called.
I love
it.
I know.
I like the voice notes too. It definitely.
Me again.
It helps, but then so much gets taken the wrong way or the wrong context through text messages because I'm a very short, like, I don't do the niceties. Well, hello there, good afternoon. Like, I'm like, do this. And it's like, oh, like, you're such a bee. No, like, I just need
you're
you
just
to do
fast.
this for me.
Speed to win.
Exactly. So that's so funny. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has
You're
that. But because I feel like in the day and age of like not answering the phone and all of that, it's like, no, we need to communication. Like communication is usually the number one breakdown of like why things go south. And then also how you mentioned like how things get communicated. I do feel like with real estate agents or even me, it's the energy that you come when you're delivering the news or how you handle it is how it's going to feel to everybody. Like you are the professional. Like I've had this before. We got this. This is what we're going to do to take care of it. Like be that professional. Not only that, I just had an issue with a file is an appraiser that was taking too long. It was VA. I don't even want to go into a whole boring story.
But I could guess who.
But everyone was like calling me screaming, and I'm like, listen, like I'm answering your phone calls. Like I have zero control over this situation. I'm following up on a daily basis. Here's all of my communication. Yelling at me is only going to make me not want to take your phone call.
Exactly.
Like you catch way more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Like if you call me and you're a jerk, I'm not going to take your phone call. It's going to be that simple.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just something to definitely realize when we're going through all of this, because we all want the same goal. We all work on a commission. We all
want it
have
closed.
Exactly. Like we want to help our clients to the best of our ability and make it a seamless process. And I don't like things going back to the client when it's an issue. Like I think
fix
that's
it first.
Exactly. Like the client doesn't need to know every little thing that goes on in the background. We want it for them to seem like, oh my God, this was the best experience ever. Right. Like nothing went wrong.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's one, I wouldn't even say a superpower, but one of the things that I do, and I noticed while coaching ladies, they would give their client a play-by-play of everything. Yeah. Even little fires that they put out. Yeah. I'm like, why are you doing that? Yeah. You are making this a crazy experience on the buyer or seller. You put out everything. You tell them everything's going wonderful. We're smooth sailing to closing day. Yeah. Like that's going to save you so much stress
and headache
and less conversation.
Exactly, because then they're going to be stressing out, following up with you every 2 seconds. Right. Like no one wants that.
If something arises, we want to bring a solution, not a problem.
Exactly.
So those agents that call instantly and say we have a problem, I'm like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? Yeah. What do you want?
Yeah.
Let's
fix it.
Yes. Exactly. So everything can be fixed. What was the word you used?
Figure-outable.
Figure-outable. I love it.
I love it. We're going to put that in the dictionary. Make that go down. But I think that is everything is figure-outable. And and I like to have the solution already. So even if like I need to go to my real estate partner and say there's an issue, like I already have the solution. Hey, this happened, but this is what we're doing. Plan. Like we're good. Like I'm putting all that stress on myself and don't need to involve anybody else. I think that's super important to do.
Can we jump back to text real quick?
Yeah.
Because Alyssa and I are in group text. Every one of our clients are all group text. Yeah. A little bit confusing, but Alyssa loves it. And we have all the group
like
text.
Communicating that way as well.
So many times when you have different generations, different personalities in your groups, Alyssa and I get the same text. Read it completely differently.
Yes.
She'll call me and she's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's not what I read. That's not how I took it. So if we're not having those conversations, you don't know how the person on the other end is reading it. Yeah. They're not necessarily reading it how you meant it or typed it. And it was really eye-opening for me, and it happens a lot. It's not once in a blue moon. It happens a lot. Yeah. And now she'll even call and say, okay, how did you read that? Yeah. How did you read it? And then, so it's very important to have those conversations. So if you're on the other side, just pick up the phone. Yeah. And it is a lot faster.
Just to clarify, too, because that's it. Because I do the same thing. Because I'll be reading something, and I'll, like, put it to Kenzie, and I'm like, is this person trying me right now? How do you take
And she reads it completely different.
She does. Yes. She's like, no, like, they're just telling you, what are you talking about? So it is funny how, and I also think it depends on, like, the situation and if there is emotion behind it or whatever it may be.
Absolutely.
And so I like picking up the phone. I just think it's way better, and especially if there's anything of like, hey, I don't know, this doesn't seem like it's going in the manner that we are. So text is convenient, but I don't think anything replaces human interaction. And then that's even with AI, and I'm seeing lots of like AI videos. It's actually I hate to say it, I almost like want to message her though, because there is this girl here locally and she does like all of these like food things, and it used to always be her voiceover on it. Well, now it's just like an AI voiceover, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Like, I like your little cheery voice. Yeah, like that is what we bring to the table, is us, our personality, the human interaction. Like, no one wants AI for everything. So, and I think keeping you in it is what's most important for any business. It's, you know, a restaurant or anything. I remember even going like when, like at restaurants like Applebee's and Chili's, like where you have like the checkout thing at the table. I remember being like, well, then what are they doing? Like now I'm not even interacting with but now I'm like, it's so convenient because I just want to pay and go.
When you want to leave.
So it's there for good purposes, but you never ever want to leave out. Like, I don't want a robot, you know, server. I actually go places. The food could be terrible, but if I like the people who work there, like,
it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm going there because I want to see so-and-so. Like, I actually are friends with a lot of people because we have 2 breakfast spots that we go to all the time, and I love it because we walk in, they have our drinks ready for us, like sit down, the usual. Like, I love that, you know, interaction with people. So I do feel like that's the one thing that is a little bit scary with our business, is how it's going to be morphing once AI hits or anything. What are your thoughts on that? Where do you think we're going?
I don't know a ton about AI.
Yeah. Are you using AI a ton?
No.
Like, I use it a ton.
Do you?
Yeah, I use it to like make email campaigns. For my Facebook posts.
Are you talking about ChatGPT?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I see that as
yes. Chatty's my bestie. But other than that, I don't use any AI. But I have seen where you can use it for videos.
Yeah.
And you could even take like a video of me right here, right now, and
make it.
AI can make this video into like 10 different videos of me saying something completely different, and it changes your mouth.
Yeah. It still looks funky though.
It does look a little funky.
But it is kind of scary to see how quickly it's gotten as good as it has, where it's going to go. Yeah. You know, even 6 months from now, I dare say, like, it's super crazy. So
crazy.
I'm trying to embrace it, but no matter what, I want to make sure it's me who's coming to the table, and I don't want to automate too much. That's how I even feel about doing email campaigns, or even like, I want to make sure I'm keeping in touch with the people that I need to keep in touch with, and making those connections, because truly that's what this business is all about, is staying in touch with your clients, staying in touch with your partners, and what you bring to the table for sure.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. All right. Well, it was super awesome to sit with you ladies today. Nice. I am super excited to be a part of Stay Bossy Agents and see it grow. I mean, the growth has already been super tremendous. So do you have anything, where can someone sign up for Stay Bossy Agents in the coaching program?
You can go to StayBossyAgents.com.
Okay.
Or the Kayla Adamson Instagram.
Or the Shannon Camera Instagram.
I love it. And they're only getting 5,000 members, so you got to get signed up now.
Yes, you do.
Fill up quickly. Sign up before the end of the year.
Yes.
To lock in the rate.
Yeah.
All right. I love that, because I think that's one thing, and we didn't even touch on that. You guys actually offer like an affordable coaching program.
Yes.
I know I've paid $7,000 plus for coaching before. So what is the membership fee right now?
$47 a month.
I mean, like, holy smokes.
It's an absolute steal.
Yeah.
I have probably spent over 6 figures on professional development.
Yeah.
I went through a phase where I just wanted to know everything and get immersed in that world. And I have spent like $15,000 on a program before and got halfway in it. And I'm like, I haven't learned jack diddly in here. Like, you have to be careful sometimes.
It's disappointing for sure sometimes.
We really had it on our heart to create an affordable coaching community, because there's powers in numbers, you know, and if we all come together, it'll really, really work with the vision that we have behind it.
Absolutely.
I love it. It's definitely different, and I do love that it's more going to be a community-based. The fact that it is affordable, where a lot of people can sign up and have access to what you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get. You get it for $47 a month. So definitely sign up now. Head over to the website. Thank you so much for joining me today. You ladies look beautiful.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. We'll do it again and have you on in a year from now, and we'll see where Stay Bossy Agents goes from there.
Oh, that will be exciting.
So 70 members too.
I know.
Hopefully
we're
5,000.
maxing at 5,000 for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.